Hi everybody, it's time for my March recap video. It's a little late, and that's because I just got caught up with Pergola work. And thinking back on all the stuff that I did in March, I really am just focused on the pergola so much that it just seems like that's all I did. But when I made the list, there is a lot of stuff on here that I completely forgot about, and I'm excited to share that with you. But before I do that, I got a little notice on my YouTube the other day about my 3-year anniversary on the platform, and I was kind of surprised it's been 3 years, and I was even more surprised at looking at the lifetime numbers on the channel. I've had something like 2.5 million views of my videos, about 500,000 hours of watch time. I'm almost up to 15,000 subscribers now, and it's been a really amazing journey, and it came just at the right time because 3 years ago I was struggling to figure out what to do after my Africa maps related business, which you can learn more about up there somewhere, basically failed because of COVID. So I was scrambling, just trying to get work here and there, trying to figure out what to do with my life. And then I just started a YouTube channel because I wanted to learn how to edit videos and just, learn more about it. I like being creative. I like sharing stories, and I didn't expect it to do anything. I didn't expect it to make any money at all. I didn't expect to connect with so many amazing people, but I did, and it's working out, and I'm able to scrape by a meager living with my YouTube revenue and live a really nice life in Portugal, making content that I hope you guys really enjoy. So I just wanted to say a big thanks to everybody out there who watches my channel, who leaves comments, who sends encouragement. I really, really appreciate it, and for everybody out there that gives a little bit extra from time to time through Super Thanks or PayPal, that's appreciated also. And just watching the videos and letting the ads run sometimes and leaving comments, it really is an amazing thing to be able to do this. And yeah, the little 3-year anniversary thing was a reminder of that. So I just wanted to start the video with another thank you to everybody out there. It's been a fun journey, and I look forward to many more years of this going into the future as well, because Lord knows I go slow enough to have another 2 decades of work at least. All right, so March was all about the pergola, I thought, but it actually was so many more things as well. So we'll start with the pergola. I finished the braces and the beam piece. So the top piece, I had to notch everything out for the braces to fit, and drilled some holes and did just a little bit of woodworking on those pieces so that I could finish everything to have the 3 pieces ready to go up. I did loads and loads of sanding. I don't think I'm a fan of sanding. I used to like it, but it's noisy, it's dusty, but it needs to be done, and once it's done, it does look very beautiful. So I had loads of sanding, hours and hours and hours of it. Staining, again, I had the wood stain, and for anybody out there who was wondering about the color of the pergola, I have decided that I'm going to stick with this current color. It seems to be very popular, and most importantly, my mom likes the color, so we're going to stick with it, and I think it looks good. It's growing on me. Sometimes you do something and you put it up, and you look at it and you're just, I don't know, but as time goes on, I really do like it now. So lots of staining. I've still got more staining in my future for the pergola as well. I'll do one last coat on that when it's upright. I attached the post bottoms. I have these little metal pieces that go into the bottom of the post. For some reason, this task was intimidating me, but it ended up being pretty easy and straightforward. So I got those into the bottoms of the post so I could raise the post off of the stone so that it doesn't get water damage. And then the pergola went vertical. I had some friends over for dinner, and we all basically just chipped in and got this thing upright. And it was a pretty momentous occasion for me. It was a long time coming, seeing the pergola laid out on the ground for so many months, and going from that to being up in the air and vertical and actually staying up and being pretty solid was a big deal for me. So thanks to Izzy, Henry, and Sinead for your help on that one. And then that's the pergola. I have done a few more bits, which I'll do in my next month's updates. You can possibly see behind me. It's still a work in progress, but I'm almost there. I also, because the weather was so rainy and crappy in March, I ended up doing a bunch of work inside on the shower and bathroom area. So one little thing I did was put a piece of wood into the the shower wall so that I can more easily attach the future crazy shower head that I have. It's enormous, and I really wasn't sure how I'd get it attached, but putting the piece of wood in there is going to allow me just to screw in easily in the future. So it was a problem that I had to solve, and I think this could work. Plastering, there's loads and loads of lime plaster that I had to do to build up the sides of the showers, so it was mostly plumb and looked better. I still have a little bit more of the base layer to do, and then I'm going to try to do the final layer of plaster all in one go, all at once, and that's just going to be a different mix. So I'm getting to the end of the shower, and when I have more rainy days, I'll be back in there working on that again, and it looks like we've got a few rainy days coming up as well. I finished the clay wall. I have a wall in my bathroom that has just been unfinished for ages, and again, the rainy weather drove me back inside, and I decided to finish that off with a smooth layer of clay. Eventually I'll probably lime wash it or use some kind of natural paint over top, but for the moment it's smooth, it's pretty. I really like how it turned out, and it was a lot of fun. Working with clay is really, really amazing. And I also got a plumbing quote. So the plumber guy came, he chatted to Sinead about some stuff on her land, and then he came up here, and I sort of talked him through what I want to do with my shower. For the moment, I'm just trying to get hot water in my shower and that pumping through. But it was a lot more expensive than I expected. So his labor was going to be at least 350 euros for 2 days of work. That's fine. He's a professional. Seems like a lot to me, but I don't actually know. And then the components that he was going to buy, or that he was recommending, added up to about 800 euros. So I feel like I'm gonna try to do this myself. Plumbing is something that is interesting to me. Unlike electricity, plumbing cannot kill you, so I'm quite eager to dive into it. I've done loads of plumbing around the land on the outside stuff, and I'd like to learn how to plumb the house as well. So what I'll probably do is get all the components I need, run the pipes, and then when it comes time to actually install this water boiler thing and connect everything up or just check everything, I'll probably bring a plumber in for the day and get them to do that work for me, or at least check what I've done. So yeah, it was interesting, and I'm looking forward to the challenge actually. Initially I was intimidated by it, but I think it's going to be something that could be really fun to work on. So that's the house stuff, and I also did a whole bunch of other random things here and there. Some friends came over and we did a day of fermenting. I have loads of lemons on my tree, and I made an Indian lemon pickle, and they all helped out, and so we'll basically let that ferment and then divide off the pickle to share. It's delicious, it's a great way to use the lemons, and it's really fun having friends over and having kind of a common goal, working together, drinking some beers, and having some fun. So that was really nice, and I'd love to do more of that in the future. I also started a few seeds in March. I always lose track of when I'm supposed to be putting seeds in the ground, and I feel like I'm behind schedule, but I feel like I always think that I'm behind schedule. So I've got a few tomato plants, some coriander, and artichokes have popped up, and I've got some peppers making an appearance now as well. So I'm going to be moving the tomato plants into the greenhouse, into larger pots fairly soon, and the other stuff will be on the way as well. I do think I'm going to end up buying some seedlings from the organic farmer guy. He's got some pickling cucumbers, which I don't have any seeds for. I totally forgot to look. And he's got some other interesting varieties of tomatoes, which I love to grow, and a few other things as well. So I'm probably going to not do so many seeds this year myself, and pick up seedlings instead. Sinead and I went over to her place and pruned her monstrous fig tree. I've been here for about 4 years now, and that thing has never been pruned. And it was crazy, and it was very satisfying doing the pruning work with the tools of joy, the clippers. They're wonderful to work with, and a fig tree the wood's quite soft, so it's super satisfying. And for some reason, a fig tree is easy to prune. Certain trees, like olive trees, are completely puzzling to me. I don't know how to make that be a decent shape, but the fig tree seems to want to look beautiful, and so you can't, at least we didn't screw it up. I think we successfully pruned it, and it also gave me and Sinead a lot of kindling for next winter season. And then I basically have done loads of strimming. I'm about to head out and do some more strimming after I do this. It's just endless with the rain and the sun combo at this time of year, the grass just completely shoots up, and I want to get it chopped down before it starts to get dry, because when it gets dry, it gets dusty and itchy and the grass seeds get in you, and it's just miserable. So I actually really enjoy trimming when the grass is green. It's messy and kind of gross, but it's really satisfying as well. So I've enjoyed that. I really do love trimming. I also rescued a car with the help of my friends Bex and Elle. They came to the rescue with their giant pickup truck after Sinead's car drove off the side of the road. The roads have been super slippy because of all the rain, and there's little landslides that have come down, and it means you kind of have to veer around them, and sometimes the car just veers too far and goes off the soggy bank. So it was actually kind of fun in the end. It was raining, it was miserable, but we got it done, and it was an amazing sense of satisfaction. So that was, yeah, threw a little excitement into my day, and I prefer not to have to rescue cars on a regular basis, but it's nice to know that it can be done with a bit of teamwork. Another rainy day task inside was building a shelf for the creepy corner where I have my solar. It's getting less creepy by the day, and now it's got a lovely little battery store, which I built last month, and another shelf for the tools. So the electronics and certain tools that I use regularly, they're just tucked away in the corner, and honestly, it's been amazing. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. It's been life-changing because everything's just been on the ground before that and hard to find. And now I can just see everything, and it's wonderful. Pruned a few trees. So I took a tree pruning course at a place called Keela Permaculture Farm, and it was very inspiring. It was 2 hours of just a little bit of info. Nothing too specific, but the general stuff I got from it was really useful. And I applied the new knowledge to some of my trees. So I tackled my almond tree, an apple tree, and I've got a few more still to do. I've got some peaches and pears to get to. I really should do that probably today or tomorrow because the flowers are coming. But yeah, so far so good. It's tricky pruning certain trees. As I said, the fig tree is really obvious, but other ones like the apple, they're a bit more challenging. So it just takes practice, and I'm looking forward to learning over the years. One thing I had no idea about is that you should prune your trees, most trees, just a little bit each year to encourage growth. So that's something I've never done. I've never given these trees any attention, and luckily they're not too unruly. I have one apple tree that is crazy that I still need to deal with, but the rest of them, they seem pretty happy. This is a pretty basic task, just physical labor. I just moved the gravel pile that was sitting in my driveway for ages and put it up onto the porch. And what that meant is that I can get my car back in my driveway, which is good. And also it allowed me to level out the porch area under the pergola so that even though I'm not going to do the tiling on the porch for a while, it'll give me a nice flat area where I can still put a table and hang out, which is the goal. And while I was doing the gravel for the porch, I also put some in my tool shed foundation, and I cleared some stones out, pulled some weeds, and basically got that ready to work on because that's going to be a focus in this month as well. I also had a visit from a guy called Roman who has an Instagram and YouTube channel called Alternative House, where he goes around and does videos featuring people just living in alternative houses. So he has a large focus on tiny houses, boat houses, all kinds of interesting things. And he messaged a few weeks ago asking to stop by and film. I said, why not? And he popped over, and it was a lovely visit. So it's going to be really interesting to see the footage because he's got all this fancy gear. He's a pro, he knows what he's doing, and I think he's going to really highlight my place, my land, my house in a really creative and interesting way. And I'm going to share that when it comes out. But in the meantime, if you want to check out his channel, I'll put the links below. And that's it for my March updates. April plans. April's all about the land, it's all about the garden, and all about just trying to get on top of things and preparing for the growing season. I don't do a winter garden just because I'm always so overwhelmed with the work of a summer garden. But this year, Sinead and I are going to work together to get some irrigation set up. It's been long overdue, so perhaps we'll work on that, but I've definitely got lots of stuff to do in the land. Strimming, it's endless, tree pruning, clearing, just lots of stuff, and then getting the garden beds ready as well. And then the tool shed. I know I've been promising you guys this tool shed for 6 months. I've had the wood probably for over a year, maybe over a year and a half. it's just gotten to ridiculous levels. So even though I'm going to be really busy working on the land and in the garden, I am going to carve out some time to work on the tool shed. I've got about another week of work on the pergola, and then I'll switch focus to that. So I don't want to be working with the stone for the foundation when it gets hot, so that's definitely going to be something I focus on, and then I'll switch over to the woodwork as well. I promise you I'll get at least some of this done in April. So that's the recap. I feel like it was a surprisingly busy month for me. I haven't been doing so much socializing this month. I've kind of just had my head down, kind of just going for it and really enjoying the progress. The pergola has been wonderful to see go up, and yeah, being out on the land again has been nice after lots of rainy weather. So that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed watching. Again, a big thanks. 3-year anniversary on YouTube. It's a big deal. Looking back at those stats, it's pretty astounding how many people have actually watched my videos. So another massive thank you to everybody out there. If you like my stuff, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 15,000 subscribers. And yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I've got an exciting April ahead, I think. And I'll see you in the next video.